Hey guys, it's Karen Haley, the digestive coach for moms, and welcome to an impromptu Gut Love Live session. If you are new to the specific carbohydrate diet, or you're new to the GAPS diet, or maybe you're just thinking about doing one of those, then you're gonna love this video because I'm gonna show you how to make the crux of the diet, the thing you have to eat if you want your gut to heal, the yogurt. So that's what we're gonna make today. So if you've been thinking about trying the diet and you haven't done it before and you're thinking about trying this yogurt, this is gonna be good for you because I'm gonna show you how to make it step by step from start to finish. It's gonna be great. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna start with your milk. And your milk is gonna need to be heated up. Here's a kettle behind me. So in the interest of time, I went ahead and heated it ahead of time. So that's what this is in here. It's already heated milk. So you're gonna start with your milk. You're gonna put it in a kettle like this. You wanna use at least 1/2 gallon. Now sometimes when I'm making it, I'll make a double batch and then I'll use 2 gallons. But for right now, this is 1/2 gallon. So you're gonna take that milk and you're gonna put it in your pot right there, and then you're gonna heat it up. Now, I get asked a lot, what kind of milk should I be using when I do this? So on the specific carbohydrate diet, the milk that's most often used is cow's milk. But let's say you're sensitive to cow's milk. Let's say you're sensitive to the casein in it, or maybe you're sensitive to lactose. Well, if it's a lactose issue, I want you to fear not, because by the time this yogurt is made, most of, and I would say virtually all of the lactose that's inside of it is going to be already eaten up by the fermentation process. So you could use cow's milk, and that's what's recommended on the specific carbohydrate diet. Or you could also use sheep's milk or goat's milk. If you need to stay away from dairy, you can definitely use coconut milk. It's a great dairy-free alternative for this, but it's a little bit different because it works a little bit different. So when you're using coconut milk yogurt, it just does not gel as well. It doesn't stay together. It's not as smooth and creamy. So you need to use something like gelatin to bring it all together. That's a little bit different than this. If you're interested in finding out how you can do that with a non-dairy milk, let me know. I'll be happy to do a Facebook Live on that. But this one is going to be specifically for dairy milk. So that would either be from a cow, from a sheep, from a goat, that kind of milk. So this is how you make that kind. And then the other question I get is, should I use 2% full fat, organic, grass-fed? What should I use? Okay, so on the specific carbohydrate diet, it's recommended that you use whole milk. And I did that for a long time. I've been on the specific carbohydrate diet for 8 years, and I did that for a long time. I used the whole milk. In fact, I even went and bumped it up a little bit, and I used the half and half. I did that for a long time, and do you know what happened? My gallbladder started kind of being angry about it. It was like, all this fat. Okay, so you can start on the whole milk if you don't have any gallbladder problems at all. But for my clients that have gallbladder issues, I say go ahead and use the 2% milk. So you can use anything from the 2%. I definitely don't use skim, but you can use anything from the 2%, the whole milk. You could even, if your body will tolerate it, you can even use half and half, because these are good fats that our gut needs to heal. And then the other question I get about this yogurt is, should I do the organic one or the not organic? Should it be grass-fed? Here's what I want to say about that. When you're making this yogurt, you want to use the best milk that you can afford. So if you can afford grass-fed organic milk, then I would go ahead and use that for this. If that's not something that's in your budget, if you can't afford it, if you don't know a farmer down the road that's milking their cows, then it's okay. Just use the milk that you get at the grocery store. Okay, but if it can be organic and grass-fed, that's best. All right, so we have our half gallon of milk. We put it on the stove, and then we're gonna start heating it up. You wanna set your temperature at medium. Some people do medium high, but then you really have to watch it, because your milk will start to burn in the kettle. If you have, now I don't have it, but if you have a non-stick kettle that's toxin-free, then you can do that because it will be easier to clean up. So I would say just put it on medium. If you have a stainless steel kettle like this one, put it on medium and then watch it. In the beginning, it's gonna seem like, well, this is gonna take forever, but trust me, once it starts to heat up, once it starts to simmer, this will all happen very, very quickly. Okay, so I wanna give you a time frame there. I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes. That's what I would do. I would leave it on the stove for about 10 to 15 minutes, but don't go anywhere. Because if you do, trust me, after 8 years of making this yogurt, I can't even tell you, I couldn't even count how many times it bubbled over on me, right? One time my husband even thought you could put the lid on it, and oh, the mess it made. It just all over. So do yourself a favor and just kind of watch it, sit around close by. 10, 15 minutes goes by quicker than you think. Maybe jump on your Facebook for a few minutes, kind of watch it, and then you can see what it's doing. What you want to do is wait for it to get to 180 degrees. That's the temperature where any of the bad bacteria that was in that milk carton, any of the bad bacteria in there, it will be heated off. So that's the temperature you want to look for. The yogurt maker that I use, it's the Yo Gourmet, and I'm going to tell you more about that in just a minute. But it comes with a thermometer. This is not something you want to guess on. This is something you definitely want to go ahead and take the temperature on. So get yourself a thermometer or use the one that comes with the yogurt maker. And you're just gonna stick it in your milk, and then you're gonna just test it every once in a while. When you start to see that steam coming up, that's when you're gonna wanna start testing it. Remember, you want it to get to 180 degrees. And like I said, for the interest of time, for the interest of Facebook Live, I decided to do that ahead of time. And this is what it will look like. So I went ahead and took it from here, and all I did is transfer it to here. Now the next step in this process, and I gotta tell you, it's so much easier than you think, because all you did right now is you just heated it. Now what you're gonna do is just let it cool. It needs to cool down to put it in your yogurt maker or however you're going to ferment it. It needs a little bit of time. It needs to get down to 100 to 110 degrees. Again, you don't wanna just guess. You wanna use that thermometer and just make sure. So how do I do this? Well, what I do is, like I said, this tends to get, the milk will get stuck on it, so I wanna clean it quickly. So I'll just set this aside for a minute. I take my pot and I clean it, and then I just put some cool water in it, and then I'll put this container right inside, okay? I'll put that right inside with a little bit of ice, and that will cool it down fairly quickly for you. The other thing that you can do is you can put it in your sink. Fill it up with some cool water. Of course, we don't wanna submerge it, but just like maybe up to here, some cool water. You can also put some ice in it. Hi, Casey, welcome, thanks for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. So go ahead and put it in the sink, put it in this pot, a little ice around it, and then it's gonna cool quickly. But again, you definitely wanna test it. So use that thermometer. It doesn't take very long, maybe 20, 30 minutes, and it'll be down to 100 to 110 degrees. Now, you've done the absolute hardest part. I promise you, those 2 steps, those are the hardest steps in this whole process. It gets easier from here, and it wasn't that bad, right? That wasn't that bad until then. Here's what you're gonna do now. You've cooled it to between 100 to 110 degrees. Now you're gonna open it. Oh good, sometimes I can't open it because when it gets, when it's warm, the thing kind of gets stuck and I have to whack it. It opened today, so that's good. Okay, so you're just gonna open this. Now it's time to add your starter. Now, if you've never done this before, you might not know what a starter is. A starter is the bacteria that we wanna add to the yogurt to give it all those gut healing benefits. Without the starter, you have no yogurt. You have no gut healing. So you gotta get that starter in there. And you can do your starter in 2 ways. Okay, so the first way is to get commercially prepared yogurt right at your grocery store. And I'll talk to you about what kind I recommend if you're on the specific carbohydrate diet. And the other option is to get it in powder form. So for today, I have this one. This is Dannon Natural Yogurt. If you're on the specific carbohydrate diet, you'll see that that's the one that's recommended. And so why is it recommended? It's recommended because it doesn't have a huge variety of bacteria strains in it. It has acidophilus, which is okay on the specific carbohydrate diet. It doesn't have any added ingredients in it. It just has that. So I'm just reading what comment from Leslie. Oh, yes. So Leslie says, any tips for those who live in the boonies? And I live in the boonies. Any tips to get the SCD legal ingredients? Do you mean, Leslie, do you mean ingredients in general or for the yogurt? Let me talk first about the yogurt. And then if you want to know more, let me know in the comments. Okay, so tips to get these ingredients. So there's not that many ingredients in this. There's your milk and there's your yogurt. So when I said not that many, really, there's not that many, right? So for your milk, if you live in the boonies, do you live near a farm where there's a farmer that actually has fresh milk? Because that would be awesome. If not, I would just get your milk at the regular grocery store. You could hopefully, you know what I find? I find that Dannon yogurt, at least where I live, it's hard to find. Leslie, you can tell me if that's true for you. If that's the case for you, then I suggest you get your starter in powder form that you can order online. So hopefully, you know, you could use Amazon or the Yo Gourmet site. There's another company, Lucy's Kitchen Shop. She says she has a cookbook for the specific carbohydrate diet. She's fabulous. I think it's lucyskitchenshop.com. So check out her site too, because she sells the starter as well. So that's how you can get these. If you want to know more about SCD ingredients, leave me another comment if there's anything like specific, because I know sometimes it's hard to get some of those ingredients, right? Okay, so we are talking about our starter here. I used the yogurt. You could also do it in powder form. Now that's going to be from a company called Yo Gourmet, right? They're the same people that made my yogurt maker. Yo Gourmet sells it in powder form, and it's SCD legal. And so you can get this, and you can get it online. You can get it at your grocery store, probably not your regular grocery store, but your local health food store. You could find it there. And so I don't know, it's just for some people it's easier. Here's what I think. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for 8 years, and so I did spend some time using the powdered one. I really think that this one, to use the actual yogurt, I think it makes a creamier yogurt. If any of you on here live have done it before, please tell me what you think, but that's what I think. I think this makes a creamier yogurt. Yes, just in general. So Leslie wants to know in general where to get SCD. The Dannon yogurt, but having trouble finding natural meats, etc. Okay, so I'm surprised you found the Dannon one, Leslie. That's awesome, because that one is difficult for me to find. So like I said, if you live in a rural area, do you have farmers near you? Let me know. Do you have local farmers where you could go and get meat from them? Because that's a great source of natural meat. But I gotta say, I'm a huge fan, Leslie. I'm a huge fan of going online. I go online for everything. So even things that are specific on the specific carbohydrate diet, like there is a tomato paste and diced tomatoes and a strained tomato company called Bio Nature. I'll put that in the comments section, but it's called Bio Nature. They're all SCD legal, and I get that right at Amazon. So love that. The only thing that I think you'd have trouble getting online would be your dry curd cottage cheese. So tell me, I don't know how familiar you are with the SCD, but tell me if you know about the dry curd cottage cheese, because that might be the one thing that you might have trouble getting. If somebody knows how to get that one online, please let us know. Okay, so Karen says that, and hi Karen, welcome. So Karen says that she's only made it with the yogurt. She's never tried the powdered starter. So yeah, there is a powdered starter. Like I said, I like the other one better. Here's the thing about the powdered starter. It's a powdered probiotic, right? Just like you have your probiotics that you might take every day. And so you want it to be refrigerated. And I find that oftentimes when I see this at the grocery store, it's not refrigerated. So that's a problem for me. So that's why I'd rather just use my yogurt. Now with the Dannon Natural, you can get it in the big tub or you can get the little ones. And I recommend the little ones. If you do the big tub, you want to take out 1/2 cup. That's how much you need. But the little ones, it is a 1/2 cup, so all you need to use. But let me tell you why I like the little ones. Because once you open it, it's not as fresh then when you use it again. The bacteria isn't as fresh. The milk product isn't as fresh. So that's why I like to just use the little ones. I know that it hasn't expired. I know because I probably just bought it at the grocery store. So that works for me. Yes, can't get dry curd cottage cheese in our area. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? Let me tell you though. If that's the only thing that you can't get, it's okay. There's a lot of other things that you can use on the specific carbohydrate diet. I'm not even really a huge fan of it. The dry curd cottage cheese, like I never eat it straight. I have some clients that do, but I don't really like it. I do use it, however, in some baking items, like there's a bread that I make with it. If you have to, you can substitute yogurt for dry curd cottage cheese if a recipe calls for it. But I wouldn't stress. It's not like, it's a cheese that's virtually lactose free. So it's an option for you to eat, but it isn't the crux of the diet. So if you're not able to get it, it's okay. Don't stress about it, right? Have you had it before and do you like it? Let me know, Leslie, have you had it before and do you like it? Like, do you feel like I have to have it? Because if you feel that way, I'll do some searching online for you and see if I can find a source for you online, because that is a tough one. I know, I hear you, that's a tough one to get. Okay, so I'm gonna keep making this, and if you guys have any more comments or questions, feel free to post them. So like I said, I like to use the regular one, instead of the powder, but you can use the powder if you want. And then all you're going to do is, I have the wrong spoon. Okay, so what we cannot do is, we cannot take this yogurt here, or the starter powder either. We can't just put it in there, because we wanna make sure that it really mixes up all through. So you wanna just start with a little bit. So I have my yogurt here, and I wanna make sure that you guys can see this. And all I do is take a ladle, and I take 2 spoonfuls of the milk, and that's it. Now I'm gonna mix it up, and then when it goes back in here, it'll be easier to get all through the milk. All right, so hope this noise doesn't bother you guys, but you can see I'm just kind of giving it a quick stir here. And I like to use a pretty big bowl or a measuring cup, because then I don't spill it. Okay, so there's that. And I'm just gonna set that down on my counter. Okay, and then you just pour it in. Okay, now that it's in there, you're gonna wanna give it one more stir. Try and keep this open as little as possible, right? You don't want any airborne bacteria getting in there. Try to keep it open as little as possible. See how I'm just giving it a little stir? I just wanna make sure that the starter is all in there. Now guys, if you know the specific carbohydrate diet well, if you've been on it for a while, I have to tell you that after a while, I did move to other yogurts besides Dannon. On the specific carbohydrate diet, the bacteria like bifidus is not allowed, but I found that I have clients, I just want to keep it real, I want to be honest with you guys. I have clients that I found that that helps them. Now, I did not branch off until I was on the diet for 2 years. So I'm not saying start that way, but I'm just saying that once you've been on it for a while, if you can find out if your body tolerates those other probiotics like bifidus, then it kind of opens a little bit of a world up to you, and then more yogurts are available. And there's a lot of plain yogurts on the market. So just keep that in mind. It is possible after you've been on it for a while to venture off that. Okay, I was just looking to see if Leslie commented, but if you do want to talk more about the dry curd cottage cheese, just let me know. Okay guys, that's it, we're done. We just made it. Now, all that we have to do is put it into our, let me move this over. Okay, put it into our Yo Gourmet yogurt maker. You don't have to buy this. You could do this in other ways. You could use a heating pad. Some people even use a heating pad. You'd want to make sure it's one with several settings on it, and you want to get one that's going to, you'd actually have to check the temperature on it. It should be at about 110 degrees, and you would keep it there for 24 hours. I've also seen people that use the pilot light on their oven. Personally, I just say invest in this. It's not that much money, and this has lasted me for years. I haven't bought one in a while. Probably this is 3 years old. So I want to say it's $50 or $60 on Amazon. I know it's not cheap, but this is well worth the money. You know, the money you're going to save and having to go to the doctor when your gut heals, huge, right? So I would invest in this just because I know it keeps the temperature where I want it to be. So that's my advice to you. I would invest in this, but completely up to you. I know that there's a video out there somewhere online about using, I think it's on YouTube, about using the heating pad. So if you want to try that method out, I would definitely look for that video. It's like probably if you search SCD yogurt with a heating pad, I bet you'll find it out there. This is the one I like. This is Yo Gourmet, and you guys can tell this is well loved. I didn't really even clean it up for you, but this is your yogurt maker. It's electric, so it has a cord that you just plug into your outlet. Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do is take a cup and a half of water, so I already have that pre-measured, and just put it into your yogurt maker. And then you just pop this in here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's glass. Now, when you get this, it will come with a plastic container. Personally, I like the glass. right? No BPA, no other chemicals found in plastic. I'm a huge fan of a glass container. So you can buy an additional container with it, and it'll say buy the glass container, and it's maybe $10 more. But I think it's worth it. In fact, occasionally the glass one breaks, so I like to have a couple on hand. And sometimes, like I said in the beginning, this makes 1/2 gallon of milk, but if you want to make a double batch, so that you don't have to make it all the time, you could have 2 of those as well. Okay, so this just goes right in here. You want to make sure that the water, and you guys can't see this, but you want to make sure that the water goes almost to the top of the container, and then you put your lid on, plug it in, and wait 24 hours. That's it. That's all there is to it. So you're gonna wait 24 hours, and that's how long it takes to ferment. That's how long it takes for the bacteria to get all through the yogurt, for those milk sugars to get eaten up so that it's virtually lactose free. It's 24 hours. You do not wanna unplug it before the 24-hour mark, but you could leave it up until, I would say, 30 hours. So anywhere from 24 to 30 hours. If you leave it in, oh man, I've done this, I've done it before, it happens to all of us, you forget about it, right? I've done it and I've left it like 32, 36 hours, and I thought, oh, could I try it? It gets so tart, you're not gonna wanna have it. So try your best. It happens to all of us, really, it happens, but try your best, 24 to 30 hours. And then what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take it out, and then you're gonna just put this in your refrigerator. Let me tell you though, it is ready. At this point, it's ready. You could eat it, you could use it, but it's just not as solidified as it like a regular yogurt. So I like to put it in my refrigerator. You're gonna put it in your refrigerator for 8 hours. So you could just do it maybe overnight, and then it's ready in the morning. If you have to use it, you can. If you don't have the 8 hours and you want to put it in your pancakes or your smoothie or whatever, you can do that. I don't think I'd eat it straight though, just because it's a little bit soupy, for lack of a better word, but I would put it in your fridge, and then 8 hours later, you're gonna have this awesome yogurt. Okay, I'm gonna put that back in there because I'm gonna turn it on. Let's see. Hi, Lisa. Where did you get the glass container? I got it online. I got it online at Amazon. Where else would I get it, right? You can get everything at Amazon. I got my Yo Gourmet at Amazon. I got the glass container at Amazon. And like I said, I think I said a little while ago that you can get all of this stuff also. I love supporting people who support the specific carbohydrate diet. So there is a website, Lucy's Kitchen Shop. I have to be honest and tell you, I do think it's a little bit more expensive there, but she sells glass containers there as well. So that's where I did get mine at Amazon, but I have bought things from her, and if you're interested, she has if you're interested in trying the SCD, she has an awesome cookbook as well that I definitely bought because so worth it, and her recipes are really simple. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Does that seem easy? Does that seem like something that you could do? Was it easier than you thought, harder than you thought? Tell me what you think. So that's it. That's all you do. And it's so amazingly gut healing. This is the crux of the specific carbohydrate diet, of the GAPS diet. I get all of my clients on this right away because it's so gut healing. So now the next question I get is, how often? How often should I be having this? I would say every day. Every day, about 1/2 cup a day. You can have it just plain for breakfast. When I first started the specific carbohydrate diet, I would have it with strawberries or bananas or some kind of fruit, and then I would drizzle a little bit of honey and cinnamon on it. But here's what happens. As you remove sugar from your diet, you'll miss it less and less, and your taste buds will actually change. So now when I have it, now years later, I don't put any honey on it at all, and I think it tastes great. The sweetness of the berries or the banana or whatever I put in it, that's enough for me. So that's how I do it. Maybe in the morning I'll do it that way. You could also put it in a smoothie. An interesting way that I use it, you know how when you make scrambled eggs and you whisk them up, I actually put, instead of putting milk, because on the specific carbohydrate diet you can't have milk, but you can have the yogurt, so I kind of use it as milk. So I'll just take a little dollop and I'll whip up my eggs, and then you have scrambled eggs that are light and fluffy and delicious. All right, so that's some things you can use it for. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I never have 4 people that are live, so thank you for that. I hope you guys will come and join again. I do a lot of gut healing videos here on Karen Haley's Gut Love, and if you liked this video and you think it would benefit one of your mom friends, feel free to share it with her. If you want to see more of the Gut Love videos, come on over to my website, KarenHaley.com, and there's lots of videos there for you to see as well. I want to thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again, I'm going to wish you much gut love and happiness always. Thank you. Bye for now.